For centuries, a man's status in high society was immediately telegraphed by what he wrapped around his neck. The elaborate cravats of the 19th century signaled wealth, education, and refinement. Today, that historical garment survives as the modern necktie, a mandatory piece of the uniform in corporate boardrooms and political arenas around the world. We inherently link this specific piece of clothing with competence. When someone walks into a room wearing a crisp tie, we are socially conditioned to trust them and assume they are ready to handle complex tasks. Because it is so ubiquitous in our professional lives, we rarely stop to consider the actual physical mechanics of this daily uniform. Every morning, millions of professionals perform a voluntary act of restriction. They loop a rigid strip of woven fabric around their throat, cinching it tightly against their skin. They are essentially placing this pressure directly onto one of the human body's most highly vulnerable structural choke points. The neck houses the critical vascular highways responsible for pumping blood up into the brain. Applying constant pressure to this specific anatomy creates a measurable physical hazard, one that initiates a sequence of internal changes we rarely notice. The danger starts on the surface, particularly in clinical settings where a professional appearance meets highly vulnerable patients. Unlike a standard cotton dress shirt, a tie is almost never washed. It is worn day after day, frequently dangling directly over patients during close physical examinations. Epidemiological data reveals a clear problem. Neckwear transmits bacteria from medical staff to patients at a significantly higher rate than a standard, regularly laundered shirt sleeve. Before it restricts the wearer's own biology, the necktie operates as a highly effective biological fomite, an inanimate object that absorbs, carries, and spreads infection. Beyond the external bacterial threat, tightening a knot at the throat creates an immediate internal mechanical restriction. This visualization compares baseline cerebral blood flow against restricted flow measured in a 2018 study. The data showed wearing a tight tie demonstrably reduces blood flow to the brain by 7.5%. A garment worn specifically to project professional sharpness actively restricts the delivery of oxygen your brain requires to maintain peak cognitive performance. When you restrict the vascular drainage from the head, you trigger a chain reaction. With the outflow narrowed, forcing internal fluids to back up naturally increases the localized pressure above the restriction. This increased fluid pressure pushes upward into the delicate vascular structures of the human head, eventually reaching the eyes. Chronic, repeated increases in this ocular pressure create a heightened mechanical risk of developing glaucoma over time. The data suggests that for those in high-pressure roles, the simple act of tightening a knot could contribute to the very conditions that lead to long-term vision loss. Healthy human bodies do possess built-in compensatory mechanisms designed to safely manage and counteract minor internal pressure changes. For a perfectly healthy individual, a tight tie acts as a restrictive annoyance, not an immediate medical crisis. The danger compounds for individuals who are obese, those who smoke, or people already dealing with chronic high blood pressure. These pre-existing conditions handicap the body's natural regulatory systems, severely lowering its ability to safely manage the localized pressure spike caused by the neckwear. The tie itself does not inherently create the disease. Instead, it acts as a persistent physical stressor that pushes an already vulnerable biological system past its safety threshold. When a compensatory system starts failing, the physical warning signs are immediate: the onset of a headache, unexpected dizziness, or sudden nausea while wearing formal attire. These physical sensations indicate that the body's regulatory systems are reaching their limit, struggling to compensate for the restricted blood flow and rising internal pressure. When those signals occur, ignore the social expectations of the office. Loosen the cravat, undo the bow, and take the tie off entirely.